I don't like to go to the second level and look at the past lives of people, even myself. Because most of you people are having the past life concerning with me also. Yeah? So if your past life is very terrible, you can be sure that I wouldn't feel good looking at it, as a witness or as somebody who concerned with you. We were just sitting in the car. You see, in the car, I was just talking to one of the attendants about past life. We are talking, we're telling you about the story that you like to listen. Everybody likes to listen, the past story, the story from the past and all that. See your past lives, I say, it is no good. I don't recommend it. And mostly when you see some people's past life or your own, it's better not to tell. Except when, the person next to you, have some very terrible confusion and, so sometimes you want to solve the conflict, so you have to look into the second world record and see what is that. That person have a lot of doubt, so you have to clear it for him. But to look into the past record is a very terrible event, journey. It is no good. So like today, I had to look into someone's records, And that someone would involve many other ones, It's not easy that you look into somebody's one record and then you see no one else involved around. And that brings you into many other connections. And each one of them would offer you the whole lot of troublesome past lives. And then sometimes it's not very good for you. When you're looking, not when you wake up. When you wake up, then of course, because of our power of practicing the Guanyin method, we probably can immediately erase the depressing feeling or any kind of negative feeling which resulted from the the past life effect. Sometimes, mostly, the past life is very gruesome. Is that the word? Gruesome? Terrible, right? Awful, yes. And full of depression and suffering. Because, as you know very well, our earth has not been very positive before, right? It's more destructive nature. And also have a lot of killing and bloodshedding and slavery and suffering among the earth inhabitants. So we would be one of them. Yeah, either we are the killer or the killed, and the slave owner or the slave. Yeah, either are no good because we will be connected with each other in this past history, and whatever happened to one would affect the other as well. In the past decades, past generation, past era of our Earth history is mostly very dark. Yes, if we are the Earth inhabitants, we would have gone through all these kind of happenings, which is very difficult for us to forget. And should we be able to remember, it would give us tremendous suffering and depression that we don't want to even know about it. That's why it is the blessing from the most intelligence that we don't remember our past lives. Even I myself, sometimes I have to go back into the past in order to check out something for the present, when it's really absolutely 99.9 necessary, then I would do that. Only very, very rare occasion, I never like to do that. And it's not necessary to do so, because we have enough to do in the present. Sometimes it is also very healing to go back into the past and to know what you have done, what is wrong with you, in order to heal yourselves in some corner of our psychic being. Not the soul, huh? The soul is never sick, never had gone through any past, present, or future. So actually this kind of healing is also good only for our mind, our body, and our psychic feeling. Still, I consider it's not bad, but it's not a high level of healing. You see, that's why most of the time we should not, or we don't have to, or the master would try to not to let us know too much about our past lives, in order so that we struggle, we fight with this present situation in order to grow above it, instead of just using a psychic way and then healing yourself and then feel good and then finished. Because sometimes struggling and fighting spirit is also very good for us. Make us strong. But only in some very, very rare occasion that some people are too weak, to fight or something like that, then maybe the higher intelligence would help them to understand their past lives in order to accept the present, or the present time, or to balance some of their very pressure kind of feeling in their life, in order to help them ease out the transition from past, present, and to the future. Otherwise, most of the time, it is better that we struggle, within our might, in order to grow stronger. Because in that case, we fight with the knowledge and power of the soul, see? Not with the mind, not with the knowledge of written documents and lower understanding. So we fight with the power of the soul if we do not know the past. If we do not know with the mind, we still know anyhow. The soul probably know everything if he wants to know. But then don't have to know with the mind. And then we struggle to go over this, what we call the evil cycle, that we back and back and back and back and back again. Many of us, most of us, coming back to this life again and again and doing always the same thing, similar thing. Like if last life you sell houses and this life you sell plastic tents, perhaps. Last life you sell horses, this life you will aim to sell cars, a similar thing like that. And last life somebody killed you, and this life you still feel like somebody chased you all the time, or have a very frightening feeling, have nightmare about being murdered, or sometimes actually being murdered. And the murdering person who murdered you is probably the same one. Or maybe it is your turn that you murder him instead. So now this is called the evil circle. And it's very, very difficult for everyone to get out of this. Because the history, we say history keep repeating again. That is true. And that is very true for my own knowledge. I know this. I see this. I'm not talking because I read it from books, but I have seen that very clearly. My own personal experience. As we see into the past lives of different people, or maybe ourselves, we see the pattern keep repeating, 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 and repeating. That's what we call karma. You see? The impelling force that keep us going back again, again, and again, and doing the same thing over again. It's just like the highway, the express highway. If you don't find the exit, if you miss it, and then you keep going again and again in the circle, you have no choice. No choice, absolutely. Therefore, we have to struggle with the power of the soul through meditation and sincere determination to break above this cycle of negativity. That is when we call liberation in one life. Yeah, and that is what we promised in Kuan Yin initiation. And it is the only way to do it, to break this circle. In many lifetimes, we have a lot of work to do, a lot of connections, and mostly we keep coming back again and again to the same connections and the same work. And that's the boring thing about it. That's why most of the time, after we are interested in knowing our true selves, are initiated into the Kuan Yin method, we begin to feel bored with life. Even though we work harder probably than before, we react quicker and we have more initiative, more intelligence to tackle any kind of obligation that is given to us. But still, we don't feel interested so intensely in having a succeed or success or failure. We just do it, and we would probably do our best, and we probably will succeed most of the time. But we don't have any interest to make it a life and death matter. You know, whether we gain or lose, it doesn't matter that much anymore. And we earn money easily, probably easier than before, but we have not interested in money. That's why. Because then we will see in the whole, we see the whole circle of this repeating, and repeating. And finally, our subconscious realizes that, oh, it's boring, you have done this before, many times over. Just a little change of color and you cheat yourself. Like last time you sell horses and this time you sell cars. Because now we drive cars, we don't drive horse anymore. Something like that. Or maybe last time we sell the camels, camels in the desert to bring milk, and now we probably drive a big truck to deliver milk for people. But what's the difference? You know, what's the difference? Last life probably we live in desert, and this life we probably live again in some of the hot country. Yes, something like that. So there is not much difference in varieties, the lives of the people in this earth. Only because we are not enlightened. The people who are not enlightened will not realize this. And they don't know why. They have to keep pursuing, trying their best to earn this money or to grasp this position despite all their health or all their, risk of life and everything. They just have to do it. Just because they have not yet find the exit way from the highway. When they find the exit way, they just immediately go out. It's boring. They know, oh God, I've been fighting all this time just because I want to find this exit. So the enlightened people are the same. Even though we still live in the society, do our best to serve our family, our, country, but we lose the interest of gain or loss of fighting for glory, for self, I'll say, benefit and gain. That is when we don't have any more ego. That is when we truly can offer ourselves and our talent to the world.